You want facts? Here we go. I've done this before and I don't know if it's on this YouTube because I've had to keep changing phones, but you know, I've just realised that this is some guys in the EU. They're blocking me. So this is a Trojan and this is a virus on my phone. Before this, there used to be another there was other Trojans like called Dog Cam and Fort Worth fascism, something about she's better, something like this. And so they're tethering our phones together. I didn't download this stuff from my phone. This is what I'm trying to say. They've been watching me for a while. Also, I just realized my last phone, when I looked at the hacking, they're sending messages to people from my phone. It's not me, and it's something about international joke, only one of a kind type thing, like just really promoting only that girl again. Smart adjuster. What's this? They're stringing my life to this phone. So everything about my brain is in this phone and they're copying it. And so my phone is all about humanity. It's all about art. So you go, fascism. Secret camera service. So all those secret photos of me online, I want them because it's been taking photos of me without knowing. Because this is all Trojan hacking stuff. Brightness banner, so they were making me look dumb in the public, were they? And there you go, EU services, see? And it's going through all my emails. They've been screwing me over, this EU. And that's how they've been doing this app, watching me. His Dog is Mad app. Have you seen this application? Because before this, I've got a lot of footage on this phone of me communicating all the humanitarian problems through my voice, and so they've silenced my voice. BBC agent, that's the Civil War case, see? Because they've got all this BBC, all this news going on about me, and I've never consented, and it's made me look really bad. And now I need help. My body's blowing out from immunity problems. And it's weird because it makes you feel like you've got no feeling in your legs or anything. And I've got real problems with my kidneys, so it's not filtering out anything. I'm just showing you this phone is totally hacked and got like a virus. So I'm being abused. They're also taking over my mail, so everybody was angry at me, but a lot of this mail was through these people causing mayhem. Eminem service, that's Slim Shady. He's been blocking all my social services. It's a crime against humanity to block me having social services. Because this is my home. They're criminals. They're being war criminals, eh? See, he's like holding my character as a face. It's a service. He did a military operation on my face that I'm the ugly one and hated at a festival, and she was the most beautiful. And he's just been doing it for ages. I don't know, there's a blonde girl they did it in Auckland about. They've made a Fort Knox of like our self-esteem, but if you look at me 2 years ago, I'm very skinny. I'm just fighting for my rights to go to work 2 years ago. I didn't have all this kind of crap going on. Now they've really put me to death. It's scary. So this is where they're getting hold of my brain. It's this phone, and this phone has everything, and it's got all these weathered photos of me. That's not that, but this is an emergency because, see, he's got the core values of who I am through this phone. The core, like my heart is, all the artwork is in this phone, and he's just stealing it off me, saying I've got to keep handing over stuff to them. And it's just like, why are they doing this to me? Payment frame, see, money's getting paid to them without me knowing. They also put a debit card on my account, and I kept closing it, and it kept turning up, and it was sitting there dormant, like nobody uses it. But they were going in and turning it on because I was getting payments going out, and I couldn't work out how they were doing it. They're really good. See, this is Shell, because he's turned me into the opposite in the public, like made me a ghost citizen by making me look like the opposite, by making you observe me. But you don't understand, for 3 years I've been sick, and I've got medical bank statements saying I'm paying a healthcare to have medical intervention, and nothing happened. And that I think he's trying to, nobody believes that I'm an INFJ. I'm actually a very kind person, and my mind is very focused on bettering people's lives and my own life, and bettering the, my mind is always about making systems better for some reason. I don't know, I'm just always thinking about this weird stuff, like, say if I get stuck in an environment and everybody's poor, I'll sit there and I'll think of ways that our lives can improve and how we can make money and make our life a lot more sustainable. Or if I'm like caught with people that are like constantly, like there's a lot of dog fights or things like this, I will my brain will start inventing like sort of, I don't know, I'll be like, oh, well, we need a gated community just for our dogs, that you need a pass to get in, and so that nobody can get away with like hurting anybody's animals type thing. This is what happens to me. But there was more than that, because I think I've filmed it before and I deleted a lot of the Trojans, but this is also shows that there's some other entity operating my phone, because that's somebody else has made that's a separate phone calling app that's on this phone, and I don't use it. There was something else I found today which is really weird. Alright, here we go. So this is the end of genocide, where people are saying it's my imagination. The perpetrators of generations deny the existence of a crime. It's a nightmare. Somebody said this is what happened to me, that the orange cat got my vagina as the massive cantaloupe and was selling it and saying it's we are eating cantaloupe and it's not very good. We should have let it ripen longer, or maybe it would have never tasted good. When my wife and I finish feeling vaguely unsatisfied, we put our plates on the floor. I don't know why. So the French are doing all this dirty sex clubs on me and have been getting people licking my vagina or something. They've also been doing an apartheid, which is a legal war crime. Japan was killing me at the beach, dumping me in the garbage. So people were giving me proof about what was happening. This is like a vending machine that they've done for John's bouquet of flowers, who you want to buy the most. See, this guy Jack Detroit seems to be my case manager. And I'm just wondering, is that a real guy? Because he seems like the guy that's doing the prostitution on me. This is going on that I was not mentally ill, and I am. This is the church guy, and he said, I've known her for 10 weeks, and she lives in Mount Eden, and she is a good character. She is like a humble, kind, and respectful person. And he said, I'm superb. It was really nice, and then we were getting on well. He wanted to teach me in Taiwanese, and then they just murdered me and murdered him and said I'm an asshole. Somebody sent me this and said this was John putting me in a toilet with Lauren. She's the EU. This is what I actually need to get done, because they're blocking. I've had all this heavy metal toxicity. Oh, I've written this. It's my timeline of my work. This is all the stuff I was taking to heal myself. I'm a really good healer, but they've just made me look really fat and gross. NAC, astragalus, vegetarian diet, kelp. What does that say? I don't know what that says. The injustice of inequality, woman ashamed for this. Man believes his rap or body or connection say it's okay to murder my value. I can't read it properly. I've internalized this hatred of my face, of his TikTok videos, his cops brutalizing my worth, and societal structures accountable for my death, and illegal arbitrary detention, oppression, deprivation, abuse of power. Look at my past. I wasn't common. This is coercive control and sexual assault to illegally enslave and degrade me as less value for the princesses, saying they are the real sides, or are they all princesses? The queens and the princesses. Laura is marketed piece of ass and seen as upper class when she was basically a cleaner for years and years and years. They just made her look like that. The chemicals go into your tissues and it ruins you. That's why my body's all saggy. Am I not to say after his drug traffickers broke my face and photographed me nude to ensure she is better in the public at all costs? My past was not sexual. The agony of online violence has meant violence not to impact me. I was meant to... I can't read it. I told John I don't want any photos on the internet. He continued to degrade me publicly with unequal treatment, violently abusing me for rappers and wannabes in a comedy club with India, dating, social degrading, shaming, not to be respected, into a common prostitute, keeping me trafficked with false mental files and ugly photos to enforce torture and discrimination. The photos are terrorism. The proper upper vagina made by monster rooster raping my ass to eliminate and execute me as a political opponent was violence. Wow, I can't believe I write these things when I write them, and then I look back because my body goes all like numb and my brain goes all like to like a vegetative state because I feel so sick. So I forget that I've put time into thinking they're really torturing me and making me so sick. My brain, before this all started, was the most powerful thing about my life. I was firing on all cylinders, and I was like really, really sharp, and now I'm really, really slow from all the lead poisoning. The drug traffickers are paying my cousins to murder me in a club that I am not sexy after gang violence. It is humiliating. With chemicals and heavy metal poisoning, your tissues go saggy, and they've made a huge point to make sure that I am humiliated in the public eye. Ruth and India have been illegally adopting me. I am subject to further torture and cruel, degrading treatment, to struggle for injustice and inequalities, and a violent mass association of pure hatred of my face and extortion of my vagina to make life insurance that I am an old strange lady. The neglect, the exclusions, the totalitarian state against diversity, and I'm just saying that there's a pattern of the EU5 blocking me communicating. This is a man's world of beauty. This is torture for me. After lead, silver, and mercury made my senses whack, she's harassing me with dog shit in public apps to ensure the position is kept. The history I wasn't loved is about greed of Honey Empire and India and Turkey and James Stevens chains. As lying history, I was toxic. I feel like Reuben invaded my family and friends with Penny and John, and Amanda and Reuben on a bus, making I was a dog worldwide. Social trauma of this being ruined, my family's arrogance and disconnect from the torture of violence and cruel, degrading treatment is misery, as my mother is probably obsessed with their lifestyle, with photos to keep that ginger Penny a princess, the underworld, a ketamine. The inhumanity of this was I have endured grueling months of damaging defamation of the Australian lives of my ego and hate. The illegal photos of me after torture and violence in recovery, beautiful, were to be malicious, as I stated to all these men, no photos, please. They have the world under their reality, as you gassed and bound with the mob, erasing crucial evidence that